Have you got a very special Arlo fan in your life and you don't know what to get them for Christmas/other winter holiday? Well, I figured it out for you. Turn off your brain. Done deal. It's a cameo from Arlo. I can record you or your loved one a personalized holiday-flavored message. Just look me up on Cameo and give the gift of Arlo this holiday season. Bags all packed. My friends, the final chunk of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC is finally here. We have all of the tracks available to us now. All 719 tracks are finally here. So now it's time for me to do what any good content creator does. I'm gonna rank them. I gotta make a tier list. This is important. It's important work. Word of warning, this list will make you mad. I'm going to judge these tracks based on criteria that are not your criteria. And in fact, let's go over the list of criteria that I will be scientifically judging these tracks against. We're judging these tracks on coolness factor, prettiness, theme parkness. We got twisty turns, ups and downs, jumps, big one. How good that I feel when I am playing them, and Shy Guys. Let's get started. Okay, first things first. You're already going past the letter grades to the S. You don't need double S. That's just completely unnecessary. And you can change these. You can change these. Yeah. Let's. What should we do here? Let's do super. The best. A, we've got absolutely really great. B is below best, but still real good. C is crumminess, average. D, don't care for too much. And F, frankly, the least good. Okay, there we go. That looks better. Let's get started. Mario Kart Stadium, starring our favorite character, Mario Kart. It's a really good way to introduce the game. Really great verticality. Love the anti-grav element. Love how you just go so high up in the air, and then when you're up there, you have the cityscape all around you. It's very grand, really good feel, and then the cityscape combined with the stadium. It's very exciting. I like it. Really, really good feel. The track itself, it's introductory, so it's not like super complex or anything, but I think just because of the vibe, I think it deserves an A. That's a real good track. Water Park, I think the sub coaster is really cool. I think the best part about this level is how you go into the water and out of the water, but since you're doing anti-grav, the water is coming at weird angles. I think that's a really cool concept. I think they could have leaned a little bit harder into the whole theme park idea. It doesn't really do a ton. It is a little bit plain. I think even just some boost pads or something on the coaster part would be kind of cool. So it's a little bit average. I will give it, I give it a B. I think it's still pretty good. It's just pretty good. Sweet Sweet Canyon. Love cake. Big fan. Love cakes and cookies and stuff. Is that just me? The track itself is fine. I think really its biggest strength is just the fun, the visuals, the cake stuff, all the candies. It probably gets an extra point just for having a gingerbread crowd. That's pretty cute. It's a bit like the water park one, yeah. I'll give it a B. Not too bad. Thwomp Ruins, basically as good as Mario tracks get. IMHO. Visually, it's amazing. You got all these just cool ruins and thwomps and stuff, but then mechanically, so much variety. You're on the ground, you're up on the wall, multiple sections where you can choose between the ground or the wall. Sometimes there's rolling stone thingies. Things change each lap. No, it's great. It's perfect. Thwomp Ruins is an easy S. One of the best. Mario Circuit, it's another very basic kind of beginner level track, so it's nothing super fancy. It's very plain, but you know what? Even the plainness is okay. It means you get these big curves with lots of drifting and boosting, and that's kind of fun. And then you get to see Peach's castle all upside down. It's kind of fun. I'll put it. We gotta have some C's. It's fine. It's still pretty okay. It's average. That's fine. It's close to being a B, but whatever. Something's gotta be C, so why not? Toad Harbor, it's really cute. Any seaside place is always really nice, going through the little, Toad Village kind of thing. Real cute, but I mostly just really like how many options this one gives you. There's so many opportunities to either, take the high road or the low road, and I think that's a lot of fun. And then the big hill at the end with all the boosty jumps. It's really, really solid. Between A and B, that is pretty tough. I feel like, I feel like it's got to be at least as good as Mario Kart Stadium, so sure, let's give it an A. Why not? I really like that one. Twisted Mansion, it's kind of a one-trick pony. It does really play well into the whole anti-grav conceit of Mario Kart 8. All the twisting corridors and carpets all wiggling all over the place. That's kind of the only thing that it does. It doesn't do much more than that. But it's good. I think I'd pretty safely put that in the B category. Yeah. Shy Guy Falls is a really good track. Thematically, it's Shy Guys mining crystals. That's just cool. But then, like, the real centerpiece here is the waterfall. It's just such a Mario Kart 8 thing, using the anti-grav to go up a waterfall, and it's got all the boosts and then coming back down the waterfall. I think that's really cool. This track has a lot of really just cool like visual ideas and stuff. I think that's a pretty safe A right there. Sunshine Airport, the theming is where this one really, really shines in particular. You know, it's Super Mario Sunshine themed, so you got like the island in the back, and there's piantas and stuff, so that's already really cool. But then, like, it's really specifically the airport in Super Mario Sunshine that you would use in order to get to and from the island. That's just cool. And then you're going through the airport itself, and you're on the runway, you're going through the planes, and when you take the lower road, you're going around the wheels of the plane. It's really cool. I would say it's one of the tracks with the strongest theming, and so I put that in A. That's a good A. Dolphin Shoals, we're getting into the good stuff now. I think the original tracks are probably going to be most of my favorites because they're just built for the game, and I just love the whole, like, just theme parky roller coastery aspect. And so, yeah, a lot of really strong ones. Dolphin Shoals is super good. There's so many just interesting things going on, you know, just like the pipes that are just blowing the current up so that you can use those for like boost jumping little tricks, and then you're going along the back of the eel and you can kind of like use that to jump and boost again and again. I don't know, there's just a lot of really fun little opportunities to do little jump boosts in this one, and visually looks really good too. That's a real good one. We get a lot of A's here, a lot of them. Electrodome is very music based, so I really love that. Having music cues that happen like when you go down certain steps, I think that's neat. I think it would have been cool if it played with that a little bit more. I do really like the part where the track splits in two, and if you go on one track, you can see the people who took the other track upside down above you. That's a really cool little detail. Otherwise, it's slightly plain. I don't know. I think it's kind of a toss-up between A and B. I'll say B, though. I think if it did just like one more interesting thing, it'd be a solid A, but yeah, B's fine. Mount Wario, visually super cool. Right at the beginning, just the incredible snowy landscape all around you, and then you go down and there's a humongous variety of different things that you do, different like snow sports kind of integrated. Sometimes it's snowy, sometimes it's icy, sometimes it's trees, a lot of different stuff. I really like any level where the laps are non-looping. It's just like 3 distinct areas. Very cool. And then getting toward the finish line, looking at just the crowd and the ski lodge kind of place or town or whatever it is. Just really, really spectacular visually, especially in the beginning and the end. You know what I think? I think that might be our second S. That's an incredibly, incredibly good track. Like, just really super great all the way through. So much variety. Cloud Top Cruise, this stinking level. So good. It's clouds. It's beanstalks. You're going through a Bowser's airship, and then you're shot out of a cannon into a stormy part where like some of the boost pads are electrocuted by lightning. Super cool. So much variety. Really just visually amazing. It's really one of those levels, one of those tracks that just feels like a theme park ride all the way through. Love it. Easy S. Bone Dry Dunes, nothing special, but it's solid. I like the desert theme, all the bones and stuff all over the place is very cool. I love the little sand ship with the toads. It's cool. It's pretty good. It's all, yeah, I'll give that one a B. Bowser's Castle really excels in the visual department, just like the scope of it, you know, all the lava, the swinging chains, the airship up there, and the opening part with all the statues, the big giant lava rock Bowser smashing the track. It's very, very cool. Very super visual. That one is exciting and interesting enough to be an A, another A. Congratulations. Rainbow Road. You know, Rainbow Roads, they like to go for kind of the space theme, but this one leans extra hard into like the technological side of it. You got the big spinning space station. That's really cool. Like the big blooper ship in the background. It's really neat. So visuals are good, but I would say like actually driving it, it's a bit less interesting than most Rainbow Road tracks. I don't know. It might be good enough for an A. I'm gonna put it in B though. It's at least very, very slightly disappointing. Still really good, but like, I don't know. Sure, B. Yoshi Circuit, it's a classic. It's fine. You know, it has to look like a Yoshi, so there's not like too much weird stuff they can do with it. So it's a little bit basic. It's just it's kind of fine. Vibe is good. I think that's another one that, yeah, pretty safely can put that in the C range. Excite Bike Arena, I do like its primary gimmick, the idea that it's just loads and loads of jumps. That is kind of fun. It's always satisfying to do a little boosty jump or whatever. But yeah, it's really all it's got going for it. Otherwise, it's a little bit plain. I'll put that one in C. It's fine. Dragon Driftway, I do think it is cool, the idea of like the entire track being like your, you know, going along one big, long, twisty dragon. That is pretty cool. Otherwise, it doesn't really do a ton. I'd like to see some more dynamic elements, some moving parts or something. As it is, it's pretty just kind of like, it's okay. I'd probably... Let's do C for that one too. Mute City, the visuals are fantastic. It's the background, the big, massive cityscape sprawling. It's super incredibly cool. Then the track itself is really twisty and fun, very roller coastery. You've got like the part where you refill your energy, but it gives you coins. That's just cute. I'd give that one, gotta pick one B. Let's go B. Okay, fine. Baby Park, it's another one-trick pony. It's very simple. It's just one easy little lap, but you do it 7 times. It's gimmicky and it's simple, but at the same time, I really appreciate what it does. The way that it crams everyone down into one little area, it really affects the whole dynamic of the race, and I actually really like that. It's also very faithfully recreated here. It looks beautiful, really colorful. You know what? I think I'd give that an A. I think that's one of the better ones, despite the simplicity. So Mario, all sorts of levels across all the games. They're based on ice cream, cookies, chocolate, whatever. You know what? How about some savory food? Thank you, Cheeseland. Thank you. Finally, some cheese. There's a track I can really sink my teeth into. No, visuals are great. It's made of cheese. It's incredibly unique. It's very cool. The track itself is like, you know, it's fairly interesting. I do like how many little like cheese holes are in it for doing little boosts. It's solid though. It's a solid track. I'll give it a B, just like I like my cheese. Good hard cheese. Okay, when I think favorite Mario Kart tracks, Wild Woods is literally the first one that always comes to mind. It's just beautiful. The verticality is amazing, going up this giant tree through all these twisty turny parts through a treetop village with all the scaffolding inhabited by Shy Guys. Are you kidding me? And you're going through a tree hollow down a river. It's just, oh, it's super cool. It's like all of the best things that I love about these tracks, just visually and mechanically and everything. It's perfect. It's amazing. Super. Let's bring back in the double S. If I had that still, this is where it would go, but we'll have to settle for S. Animal Crossing. This one's good. I mean, it's actually, because of just the dynamic nature of the gameplay and the camera and stuff, it's actually like a more realized and viewable like version of an Animal Crossing town than you would even get in Animal Crossing. So it's kind of nice. It's really, really visual. So many townsfolk all over the place. The fact that it has different versions for each season is a really, really cute idea. I kind of wish there was a way to experience all the seasons like in one go, like maybe there's 4 laps and there's one for each lap or something. Whatever the case, it's really cool. The track itself is pretty good, but then you get all the Animal Crossing-y visuals and stuff, and then the season gimmick. I'd put that in A. I think so. If it weren't for the season thing, probably B, but that makes it unique enough. Okay, we're a quarter of the way through, so let's reassess. Let's see if any opinions have changed as we've gone along. I think Mario Kart Stadium being an A, not quite sitting well with me. I think it's better as a B. Yeah, that makes sense. Everything else, though, looking pretty good. Sorta tempted to put Rainbow Road in A. Is B a little too weak for it? I'll keep it there for now. We'll see. Moo Moo Meadows. The vibe is nice. I know it's kind of a classic. It's like, you know, the atmosphere is cool. The clouds and the sun and the farming stuff and the cows. It's nice. But, I don't know, doesn't really do anything. I think we got ourselves our first D. It's not bad, but it's just kind of whatever. Mario Circuit, yeah, that's another very, very simple one. It's from the GBA. They at least took like one little chunk and like stuck it up in the air just so you get a little anti-grav, but otherwise, It's got nothing going for it. Yeah, I think that's that's another D right there. Actually, you know what? Why not? That's an F. If anything deserves an F, it's that one. Cheap Beach. It's pretty okay. I think the beachy vibe is really nice. Nice beachy music. It's kind of short, but it's got like little tiny things to make it a little interesting. I like the narrow sandbar, little bits of jumps. I'll give it a C. It's all right. Toad's Turnpike, I have a lot of nostalgia for. I love how it really is just a chunk of freeway. That's literally just all it is. Cars all over. But I don't know, there's a novelty to it. There are a lot of cars. I love how some of the cars are jumps that you can use. I think that's really clever. I like how they put the on the wall segments here. Yeah, between the nostalgia and just the idea of just having a bunch of cars everywhere, it's kind of fun. I'm gonna stick that in a B. I think it's a pretty comfortable B. Dry Desert, not to be confused with Dry Desert from Paper Mario, which is a real shame. That would have been really cool. This is a good track. The visuals are really good, and it's got like lots of little bits. I like the idea of pillars falling over and becoming jumps. I love the water section where you chain a lot of jumps together. I love the really big sand sinkhole that you want to go around it, but if you can boost through it, then that's a really good shortcut. There's lots of little bits about it that are cool. I think between C and B. Ooh, that's tough. For now, I'll do C. We'll see later. It's B. It's not C, it's B, sorry. Donut Plains 3, it's a little boring. I mean, the best part about it is just the sky looks really pretty and kind of the background. But beyond that, it's just kind of whatever. It's kind of cool. There's a little muddy section, but that's about it. I'm gonna put that down with Moo Moo Meadows in D, sorry. Royal Raceway, it's pretty darn basic. I think the one thing it's got going for it is that it's twisty enough to not be too boring, but otherwise doesn't really do much. That's another D right there. DK Jungle, now things are getting interesting again. I really love how this whole thing is modeled after DKC Returns. You got the statues, you're bouncing on a flower. It's a perfect amusement park ridey kind of track. You just, you through a temple and past the statues, and I don't know, it's really fun. Gives you a little taste of what a modern 3D DK game might look like, and I like it for that reason. I think it's not super amazing, but I think even just for the visuals and stuff, I think B. It's pretty solid. Wario Stadium's good. Classic music, obviously. Lots of jumps. It's very dynamic, very kind of chaotic. Yeah, lots of parts with jumps. You got the anti-grav with the tight corners. You got some obstacles and stuff too. It's a pretty solid one. I'm gonna put that up here in B. Sherbetland, another really nice, cozy winter one. You got a lot of pretty snow. You got the really pretty ice cave. I like how, any level you can kind of split tracks, go above the ice or below the ice, and it's kind of different depending on which way you go. Music's good, very classic winter Nintendo level kind of song. That's another B right there. We're getting a lot of Bs. I think it's just a good, solid track. Music Park is fantastic. It's kind of a more realized version of Electrodome, which is weird because I know it's older, but I don't know, here you're riding around on all these piano keys and just there's a lot of interactive music kind of stuff as you go. It's really interesting. And you can bump over the keys to get a lot of extra jumps. You've got the section where the giant music notes are bouncing around and that makes you bounce and jump. I don't know, it's really, and it's colorful, it's lively, it's got instruments all over the place. That's a really good track. I am going to put it A. It's an A. Good A. Yoshi Valley. Is there any other track in any other Mario Kart game where you've got this many branching paths? I think that's really interesting. It doesn't do a whole lot beyond that, but that is a pretty darn good little gimmick there. I think that earns it a B. TikTok Clock has really good visuals. The whole clock theme, all the background stuff, loads and loads of gears and things, and then even the track itself. Gears change directions at different times and all this twisty, turny stuff. It's a good one. I think it's kind of close to an A, but still down at B. Let's put it at B. Piranha Plant Slide. It's very dynamic, isn't it? There really is a lot of twists and turns and stuff, a lot of ups and downs. I like how the whole thing is just the entire theme is basically underground, sewery kind of Mario level, but there's even blocks and things that kind of makes it look like you're riding through a Mario level from a different angle. So that's really cute too. I think I think this one deserves an A. That's a very good track. Grumble Volcano is fantastic. I mean, volcanoes erupting the entire time. You get to like actively see parts of the track crumble and fall into the lava as you go. So every lap is a little bit different. You're seeing the fireballs forming in the sky way off in the distance and fly down to try to hit you. It is exciting. The music is super cool. It is a genuinely harrowing experience. The perfect amusement park ride kind of track that I do so love. That's an S. Easy. N64 Rainbow Road. I want to be mad at this track because it's not like the original. The original, it's just like 18 minutes long. It's like super long, but that's what I liked about it. And this is not that. This is much more modernized, much faster, much better. I will completely admit. That's the thing though, I can't stay mad at it because it's just so good. Like, it's not too complicated, it's not too crazy like most of the other Rainbow Roads. It still is a lot more chill, and I really like that. It retains some of that, these long curves for lots of drift boosting and stuff, and then it's just so pretty. It doesn't do a space theme like most of the others. It's more just like it's nighttime and you see the stars, but then the beautiful cityscape and the ocean, the train throwing coins at you, the fireworks. It's so just like fun and cozy and celebratory. It's really, really good. As a track, it's not incredibly special, and yet, I really like it. It's really close. I'm just gonna plop it an S because it just makes me feel that good just to drive through it. Wario's Gold Mine, I think functionally I wish it did a little bit more. I like if it was a little more twistier and turnier minecart ride kind of thing. But those visuals, those darn visuals. Oh my gosh, even just like the very, very beginning, all the buildings built up onto the cliff. It's just this giant industry. It's really cool. So I think if anything it earns a B just because the visuals are so nice. I'm not always a fan of SNES tracks, but Rainbow Road, that's a really good one. It's a classic for a reason. It's twisty, it's turny, it's dangerous. There are no walls, and the visuals here are really nice too. I love the light shining on the hills way in the background. I love how dark it is below. It's a very good level. It's solid. I think I'd give it an A. I think so. It's just a really good level. Track, not level. Ice Outpost is strangely disappointing for Mario Kart 8 original. It's got like its thing is like kind of like the paths like kind of diverge, but they're still kind of parallel. Splitting path. It just doesn't really do much with it. It doesn't accomplish much. Not a lot of interesting stuff happens. Visuals are only okay. There's like a part where you can see like some of the ice is crumbling and falling into the water, but like they don't do anything with that. There could be some parts of the track that fall into the water, that fall onto you, that kind of thing. But yeah, it doesn't really try to be very much. So, I'd put that down at D. That's not great. Hyrule Circuit, definitely one of those tracks where the track itself doesn't even really matter. It's really everything else. I mean, it's so cool. The music is incredible. It's this medley of Zelda stuff. You know, you go over Hyrule Field into Hyrule Castle. You go through the Temple of Time and the Master Sword is there. The Piranha Plants are Deku Babas. The coins are rupees. I mean, come on. That's just cool. Like, just for the concept alone, that's an easy A right there. I love Mario Kart because it's like, in what reality does Bowser have a futuristic city themed after him? Where does this exist in the Mushroom Kingdom? I don't know, but yeah, Neo Bowser City. Visuals are really good. It's just a futuristic city. I love how it's just pouring rain the entire time. Really twisty and turny. Very fun. I'm between A and B here. It's not like super special. I think if it had one more thing about it to make it more interesting, it'd be an A, but let's stick it in B. Ribbon Road is a really good track. I love how much the road itself just wiggles and warps, so you get little opportunities to do little jumps off of it. Yeah, really twisty and fun. Mostly it's just like the visuals though. There's just toys all over the place. Your miniature, you know, the bedroom is humongous. They must have put so much work into all of these background elements. So many toys and things to look at. Like, it's almost hard to actually drive. You're too busy looking at the background. That's a really good track. I'll put that in A. Super Bell Subway is another one. Yeah, kind of disappointing for an MK8 track. It feels like a remake of a much older track. and also, like, what is it? There's nothing in here that has anything to do with the Super Bell power-up other than, like, just seeing the logo. It's literally just a subway, so I don't know. It's okay. I do like how you see signs for other tracks. That's cute. It's just, I don't know, it's fine. It's a fine track. I'll just... B. Okay. Big Blue is another F-Zero track, and I think this one is way better. I mean, I like the other one fine, but like this, oh, it's so good. It's so much like F-Zero. It's so fast. It's so twisty. I love how much of the track you're going just super steep downward, and you're just turning in so sharply, and I don't know, twists and turns all over the place. The visuals are incredible. That's a perfect track right there. That's absolutely perfect. That's a really good one. S for you, a bigger blue. All right, we're halfway done. That is it for all of the stuff before the DLC. Just checking in, making sure everything, yeah, everything still looks pretty good. Yeah, okay, we're good. All right, DLC time. Time to fill out the bottom half of this list. No, you know, we start with Paris Promenade, which is, you know, my introduction to Mario Kart Tour real city tracks. And, yeah, they're the weaker ones, for sure. Not really much going on here. I know the whole thing with tour tracks is like the pathing kind of changes with each lap, and that's kind of cool, but at the same time, I get confused with my bad brain about which direction I'm supposed to be going sometimes. Don't really like that. This level, it's just got nothing going for it. There's an F. Let's start filling out the F. Toad Circuit. If you're gonna remake an old level, I really don't know why you'd pick one of the game's like really super introductory nothing level. It's colorful. I like that it's colorful, but that's another F right there. That's a stinker. Choco Mountain. Nostalgia. Now you're talking. I like the look of the level. I really like that they maintained the kind of misty atmosphere. I kind of wish that the music matched it, but not really. The track, it's fine. It's like a little bit plain. You get the falling rocks and stuff. The nostalgia does bump it up a little bit. B or C? I'll give it a C. Realistically, actually playing it, it's like pretty okay, but nothing super special. Coconut Mall, I'm not quite sure why it's such a beloved track. I don't know, maybe it's one of those had to be there kind of things. It's like pretty good. It's solid, you know, just like mechanically it's pretty good. I like that there's some Mario Sunshine stuff in there. Yeah, I'd give it a B. It's solid. Tokyo Blur, I'm sorry, it's another real city stinker. It just doesn't really do anything. There's some like pretty background elements and stuff, but like, it's just not very interesting. F. Shroom Ridge, it's a little bit plain. It doesn't do a ton, but it's like decently twisty. I do like dodging cars and stuff. It's a pretty good vibe. It kind of reminds me of cruising around California. Gives me a pretty nostalgic vibe. That does give it extra points. Is that enough to bump it into a B? Otherwise, I would say probably C. Just for nostalgia, it's getting up to B. Not even for nostalgia for Mario, but for like my own life. So that's good. Sky Garden is obviously like a proto Cloud Top Cruise, so it's not like quite as good. It's still pretty though. It's a little plain, but like you still get like the background stuff with the beanstalks and the airships and things. Is that enough to bump it into a B? Otherwise, I would say it's a C. Yeah. Yes. Yes. No. Yes, moving on. Ninja Hideaway was the first of the DLC tracks to be like, whoa, yeah, like this is actually really good. This was an original from Tour, and I love how it's like, it's got a high road and a low road, but they're like completely separate. Like if you just like keep hitting your jumps right, you can like stay on the high track basically the whole time. And I think that's really, really interesting. It's almost like two completely separate tracks put together, and that makes it really fun. I think that's an easy A right there. New York Minute is fine. I think like the nighttime city thing, it's got the kind of pizzazz. Like it's like kind of a nice feel. It just doesn't do anything interesting. And some of these will have like an interesting thing in like the last lap, and I'll take you through some like cool landmark. This one is just like, how about this time we go down through the gross subway? And I don't know, it just doesn't. F. Mario Circuit 3. There is a novelty to having access to these tracks that are like very old tracks from Super NES, but I don't know, it doesn't do anything particularly interesting at all. I'm gonna put that in F2. Calamari Desert, it's not anything too fancy, but then after the first lap, you go onto the train tracks and go through the tunnel. You're playing chicken with the train. I think it's a pretty cool kind of little thing right there. Atmosphere is pretty good. I'm gonna put that one in B. Waluigi Pinball. This is the kind of gimmick track that I like. It sticks to the gimmick. You know, most of the track is you're like one of the balls rolling down the little tracks, but then the pinballs are actually coming along with you and they squish you. Then it opens out onto the big board itself, and like you're moving down. There's bumpers all over the place. The other balls, there's paddles at the end. Like, it's basically like you're going through one giant pinball machine, and I think that's a really, really cool idea. Realized quite well. I would put that in A. Sydney Sprint, I'd say it's like maybe a little bit more interesting than a lot of the other Real City ones. A little bit longer. It's not really any one thing that makes it better. I think it's a little bit more varied. The scenery is pretty okay. Yeah. D is good. Snowland is very basic. It's a GBA track after all. It doesn't really do a whole lot. And yet that aesthetic is so good. It's winter, it's so cozy. The entire track is ice, which is just really pretty. Giant ice crystals in the background, penguins sliding and jumping all over the place. It just feels really nice to be in. And that is worth a lot of points, as we have learned here. I would say, I'll put it in B. It's like a high B, but it's a B. Mushroom George, he's fantastic. No, it's great. It's mountains. It's tall mushrooms bouncing all over the place. That's really it. You're just bouncing on mushrooms a bunch, but like, it's super cool. The visuals are really, really good. Very good track. Very solid track. That's an A right there. Sky High Sunday. That's a really good one right there. That's another good one. Just visually, it's just really, really cool. Like all the treats and stuff all over the place. There's a helicopter. It looks like an ice cream cone. Really cool. But then the track itself, lots of jumps. I love how you go up and around the big ice cream. It's very just dynamic and bouncy and fun. I think I'd give that an A. I think so. Yeah. London Loop. It had a lot of potential because like it has a lot of like really clear diverging paths where like each lap is a little bit different, and yet like it never really takes you anywhere interesting. You expect it's gonna like become more interesting, but it's just slightly different each time. So yeah, it's kind of not anything. Also, missed opportunity. Instead of rock music, should have been punk music. Should have been like 70s punk. What's wrong with you? Boo Lake is fantastic. They've really modernized it really, really well. I love the above water and below water. You know, it's all this like boardwalk, but it's sinking into the water. The vista is great, all the dead trees, and then going through the finish line, you get the view of the mansion and the moon. It's really good. It's really fun to drive on, and it's really nice to look at. That's kind of a toss-up between A and S. I really, really like that track. Let's put it in S. Let's see how that feels. Let's test it for a bit. Rock Mountain is fantastic. I love the visuals, the mountains. It feels like you're ridiculously high up in the air with how far down the clouds are. It's really cool. It's got this like massive gliding section. I love that. I wish more tracks had these really big gliding sequences where like I love being able to like bounce off of the air draft coming out of the pipes. You know, there's a part where you're going up the steep mountain and there's rocks falling. That's a very good track right there. I think that pretty solidly earns itself an A. Maple Treeway is another famous one, and this one I definitely understand. It's just lovely. It's just this whole autumn kind of vibe. You're just going up and around just tree trunks and branches and canopies and things. I mean, you're plunging through piles of leaves. Like, come on, that's just cute. It's really pretty. It's really fun. That's another solid A right there. Great music too, but I guess that goes without saying. Berlin Byways is another slightly better Real City track. It's just kind of pretty. It just kind of looks more interesting. It's a little bit more interesting to drive. Still nothing super special. I think D is all right. Peach Gardens is cute. You know, it's the gardens of Peach's castle. So you got like Chain Chomps and Monty Moles in the garden, and then you got Toads and Shy Guys brunching with each other. It's very, very cute. I would say that it was probably plain enough to be a C, but the whole gimmick of like the last lap you do backwards, I think more tracks could have that. I think that's enough to bump it up into a B. Oh, Merry Mountain, one of my favorite tracks in the entire game. It is perfect, wintry, Christmassy coziness condensed into one perfect track. It's this cozy, beautiful little village, and you're going up a mountain to a giant mountain of presents, but then it's also a ski lift, and then you get to see the whole city down below you, and the Christmas train. Oh, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's Christmassy, it's wonderful, it's winter. I love it. I love it to pieces. I want to just be in it. I want to live in it. I want to live in Merry Mountain. That's an S right there. 3DS Rainbow Road is fantastic. I like how it's space themed, but it's not all the way necessarily Mario Galaxy themed. It's kind of a little bit more like realistic depictions of like the moon and stuff like that. I love the spot where you're down on the moon surface itself, going over craters, and I don't know, the whole thing is just, it's very visual, it's twisty, it's turny, it's fast, it's dynamic, it's great, it's really super good. I am going to put that in A. Considering S, that really is a good track. I'm gonna let it sit in A for a bit, see how I feel. All right, we're 2/3 of the way done. One last little check-in before the final stretch. I think Tick-Tock Clock being in B. I think that might be the one thing. I think I'm gonna push that up to A. That is a really good track. The rest, I'm thinking I still feel pretty good about. So, all right, let's move on. Amsterdam Drift is really not bad, and that's because its different laps are actually different. You go through the city, then you go through the waterways, and then in the last lap, you go through this like flowery field. It doesn't look like super good, but like you get what it's going for. I like how there's a section where you're going through like more like rural farmland. It's just got more variety. It's decently fun to drive. I think this is the first one. Gets you up to a C. Congratulations, Amsterdam, the country. Yeah, you finally made a pretty good track. Riverside Park is very basic. It's pretty short, but it's just so darn pretty. It's just so fun to look at. It's sunset. It's all the trees and waterfalls and rocks, and you go through an underground area that's more wet. You got piranha plants walking around like Charlie Chaplin. That's really good. I think just visually alone, this track earns itself an A. It's just so nice. DK Summit, it's pretty fun. It's cool how it it kind of mimics a real snowboarding course. You've even got like the long like half pipe kind of thing. Lots of ups and downs. Lots of jumps. It's decently fun. It is a B, I would say. Yoshi's Island. Oh, visually, it is a feast. It is a love letter to Yoshi's Island, and it's fantastic. I mean, it represents so many different areas of the game. So many enemies and visual elements are there. All these cute little details, the sound that the coins make when you pick them up. All this different stuff. Like, go watch the video I did on these tracks for my full thoughts, but Yoshi's Island track, it deserves to be in the series forever and brought back many times in the future, because it's just so nice. It's so beautiful. Such a good easy S right there. Oh, I love it. Bangkok Rush is a good track. It's really not bad at all. And again, whenever these real city tracks are good, it's because of variety. Just takes you through a lot of different places. There are sections where you could take the high road or the low road, multiple paths. You know, you're bouncing on canopies. I don't know. There's just multiple things that you do in it. It changes up enough with each lap that it just makes it actually like pretty fun. I think that might be just enough to bump it up to a B. Yeah, I think that's the first real world city track to make it to a B. Congratulations. Mario Circuit, it's another very simple kind of introductory style track. It doesn't do a whole lot, but I do really like how there's one section with like kind of a darkish forest area, and then it opens up and then Peach's Castle's there. I don't know, just visually, that little chunk of the track right there That's worth a lot. I really do like that. I would put it... Okay, it's still a D. I'll give it props for that part, but it's still a D. Waluigi Stadium, I don't really have too much to say about. It's just kind of like, it's okay. It's a fine track. It's yeah, it's a C. It's fine. I don't know. Singapore Speedway. That's another genuinely good real city one. There's so much vertical usage. You go up and you down a lot. You're up on rooftop pools and flying through hoops, and it's just a lot of up. And it's very pretty, and you get these big views of the city. It's fun. It's different for each lap. Yeah, that's another B right there. Easy. Athens Dash is interesting because there's no actual like city part. It's just the, you know, the history stuff. And I feel like more of these tracks should be that way. I think that would make them a little bit more interesting. So it's pretty cool. Otherwise, it's kind of fine, you know. I mean, there's that thing where Real World just isn't as interesting as Silly Mario World. I'm sorry. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit more interesting than the average one. I'd still put it in C. Daisy Cruiser is fine. It's just kind of fine. Like the tables drifting around. That's cute, you know, Goombas hanging out in the pool. That's pretty cute, but otherwise, it's just kind of whatever. I'll give it a C. Moonview Highway, the track itself is a little basic, doesn't do a ton. Very pretty though, extremely pretty. You start out, it's nighttime, the moon over the water, and then you go into the city. It's very, very pretty. It's like a midnight cruise. Music does not match it at all. Does not match the vibe I feel like it's going for. But it's a good one. It's solid. I think I'd give it a B. Probably a lot less if it didn't look so cool. Squeaky Clean Sprint, another one of those tracks that's just got so much going on visually. It's just so cute, so pleasant. I mean, come on, you're racing all over the bathroom. You're going down the drain. There's a wedding ring in there. There's like bath bombs in the bathtub. It's just, there's so much going on, so much visually. Really cool. Still bummed you can't drive on the toilet. That's really all I wanted, but oh well. Can't win them all. Squeaky Clean Sprint, it's really good. It's just so much fun. Is that an A or is that an S? Ooh, that's tough. That's really, really tough. It is probably visual enough to be an S. It's just got so much going on. Make a decision, Let's put it in A, see how I feel. Okay, Los Angeles, never mind, nope. S, it's an S, okay. Los Angeles laps, I already made this joke in my full video on the DLC wave, but yeah, I love how they kind of struggled to make even an idealized version of Los Angeles look good, you know? Just kind of like, oh, there's the nice beachy area, and then there's the gross industrial area. It's just kind of funny. It's kind of okay. I think maybe it's just interesting enough to push it up to a D. Sure. Sunset Wilds, it's pretty boring. It really doesn't do a lot. I think the best part about it is just Shy Guys, like Shy Guy miners dancing, hanging out in tents. That's pretty cool. Otherwise, though, it doesn't really do much. I'm gonna give that one a D. Sorry, Shy Guys. You should be worth more. I'm sorry. Koopa Cape is a pretty interesting track. Thematically, it's just kind of cool. It's like a mountain thing, river rapids, but like it's also kind of mechanical, and there's a lot of like metal stuff going on. And it's all Koopa themed. But it's just interesting. It's twisty, turny. You know, ups and downs, the twists and turns and ups and downs, the kinds of things that I like. Going through tubes and pipes. It's pretty good. That's a pretty good one. I will give it a B. Vancouver Velocity. This is the best real city track. Definitely. Hands down. It's actually really good. I mean, like, the laps are very distinct. The last lap is like a weird dud considering how great the first two laps are. But like, I don't know, it's beautiful. It's dark, nighttime forest park. It's up in a tree canopy. Everything is lights and beautiful, and it's really genuinely terrific. I would give, would it go above a B? It's still not as like crazy and cool as like a cool Mario thing. It's mostly just good for a city track. It is really pretty. It is really nice. Let's do it. Let's give it an A. Let's see how that feels. Let's see. We come to the country of Rome, the Tri-County area known as Rome, Tennessee. This one's okay. I mean, you know, it kind of centers around the Colosseum, which is cool. It's all right. It's a nice visual kind of thing, but I don't know. It's kind of basic. It's cool how you go through the Colosseum just in the last lap. I do think that's neat, but otherwise, it's okay. I'm gonna give it a D. D came out in another classic. It's a real good track. You know, you rocket up to the top and you go all the way down. I always like that kind of format for a track. I love seeing the landscape stretch out before you. It's pretty. It's interesting. It's not like super amazing, but I am going to give it a... I feel like it should deserve an A. I'll still do B. It's a high B, but it's a B. Daisy Circuit, it's really just not that interesting. The coastal vibe is kind of nice, but this doesn't really do much. I think I'm between a C or a D. I think I might give that a D. It's just kind of whatever. Piranha Plant Cove is fantastic. It's really great. Very, very visual. Takes you through so many areas, you know, all of these ruins and underwater and the little villagey kind of part. The background is really good. There's lots of creatures in the water. That's just a very, very interesting track. I really, really like it. I think that is an easy A. Madrid Drive, there's like a couple parts that are like kind of interesting. You got like the art gallery with the piranha plant. It's kind of cute, but otherwise, I don't know, I'm just gonna put that in F. It's very F for forgettable. Rosalina's Ice World is really nice, you know, really pretty. All the snow and ice going through these icy caverns and stuff. You've got the Mario Galaxy stuff in the background. The observatory is like right next to the finish line. It's really nice. I'd give that a good B. Bowser Castle 3. I really like this one. I think it's really nice. It's dynamic, it's interesting. Good twisty turns. I like the little part where you're racing up on like the ledge. That's kind of cool. Just, I don't know. It's an SNES one, but like, it's just solid. Pretty solid. I would say between A and B. Maybe, I think B. It's probably good enough for B. And finally, Wii Rainbow Road. That's a good course. It's a good one. It's a rainbow road, so it's twisty, it's turny. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's colorful. It's pretty, very dynamic, very fun. Changes a lot. Yeah, that's an A. Definitely. So there you go. We have our list. Now I'm going to meticulously order them for an hour. I'm not going to do that. Not sorry, but I will attempt to stretch this content slightly further. Here are my top 10 worst Mario Kart. I'm not going to order those either. There you go. Obviously, I'm not a really big fan of the real city ones, or just like plain beginner ones. You know, they're just kind of whatever. Okay, look away for a second. I'll order these ones. I'll order the super best, and you're gonna get here are my top 10 Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks. Hold on, no, I'm gonna put Mount Wario down into A. Is that it? Yeah, looks right. Okay. My top number 10. Oh my gosh, there are actually 10 here. This is perfect. Never mind, not doing a top 10. This is vaguely how my top 10 looks. I know that Wildwoods is at the top. That's my favorite though. Wildwoods and probably Merry Mountain next. Maybe this is about right. Maybe more like that's kinda ish. Yeah, sure. Yeah, there you go. That's the order. That's the top 10 right there. I really just love Wildwoods. I really love it a whole lot. So there you go. There's my list. What do you think? Please bring your anger down to the comments. Tell everyone how I have slandered your favorite track. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go make a tier list of my, relatives. See you later.